Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, hi. The pizza was tasty. It wasn't as hot as I would like it to be, but it's okay since I took a little bit of time before eating it. I also have some bubble tea next to me. I just gotta make sure it does not fall off my bed frame, or else that's gonna be embarrassing. Please do not fall. Your delicious bubble tea. It's just a plain brown sugar milk tea, but I love it nonetheless. Like, that's a good default flavor. And yes, for a recap, we finally got the Size of Kings. Amiya was hit with a mind attack, and fortunately for Allerdale, she's now the apprentice of the Steam Knight. Yes, indeed, she's gonna learn from him inside of the underworld. Yes, indeed. Yep, they're gonna go on adventures together. They're gonna become best friends, and then she's gonna come back out a full-fledged Steam Knight. Definitely, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. And yeah, I already clicked on the PV. It was cool seeing all the shadows and then Ines. So without further ado, Heatwave. The soldier seems to like the hot wind blowing on the deck. It reminds him of the warmth of the fire when cooking supper back home. Well, good for the soldier. New red wheat seeds, a bird and bee saddle. Mill operation unit looking for previously owned. Spine massager may need mail order. Spine massager. I wonder how that works. 2 woolen coats. Swinton's tailor shop. Dad needs its hem trimmed short. The romance of Ives crossed out. I said I forgot. Grab some cheap candy to tie the kids over. Ask George if you can borrow his medal. I want candy.
Piers. Yes, Captain. I heard your leave was approved. Yes, I suppose it went rather well. It's all thanks to that baby face of yours, lad. The brass occasionally want to put up a facade of caring about their subordinates. They call it good branding. Haha, I guess the brass happened to be in a good mood. The mill back home stopped working and the old carpenter there broke his leg again, so my mother asked me home to help out. 10 days of leave, minus 8 days on the road. A day and a half is more than enough for me to deal with that rickety antique.
Wow, they approved a lot of time off. Good for this young soldier. Good job for him. What am I expecting for this chapter? To see the Size of Kings in action? Come on, let me see it.
I left an extra half day open just in case my dad needs help tilling the other part of the field. Oh right, I should pick up another dozen work gloves. The ones back home are past their prime. Is this a shopping list? That's right, Captain. Just so nothing is missing, I don't know when I'm going to get time off again. Hopefully you've earned yourself a real medal or two by then. Of course, all for Victoria. That's the kind of ambition I want to see, lad. I once knew a bloke named Todd. He and I fought against those Spirecasters out on the frontier, and he earned himself a solid gold medal. What a beautiful thing that was, glittering as it hung on his chest. It shone so brightly nobody could take their eyes off it. Our beloved Duke Windermere personally awarded him the medal, which is the highest of honors for any soldier. But at the celebration banquet later on, old Todd had a bitter look on his face. Can you guess why? Because he wasn't satisfied with the merits he earned? No, it's much worse than that. He couldn't lift his mug to take a swig of beer. His hands got replaced with a pair of wooden prosthetics. Ha!
Oof. That sounds painful. The veteran officer grins, showing a mouthful of yellow teeth. The young soldier laughs dryly. He knows this is one of the officer's many poor jokes. A wind is so strong on the deck that the soldier has to hold on to the brim of his hat, letting out a loud yet harmless sneeze. No matter the season or weather, standing on the deck of a prancing high-speed battleship always makes one want to wrap itself wrap himself in his coat. The young soldier thinks to himself, Wales is in charge for today. How many cans of rations did that pudgy, bald man swipe? But the creamy vegetable chowder he makes is without equal, and if fortune is on his side, that old bastard might even throw in a healthy serving of foul beast into the soup. I want to try that. Creamy vegetable chowder with foul beast, that sounds delicious. He figures that he should leave after the sun sets, and he finishes dinner. The mobile fortress they're stationed at has already reached Londinium's vicinity. When the weather is clear, they can even see the pinnacle of the Shard on the horizon. After returning to the station, he'd board the logistics squad's transport vehicle and head to the nearest town first, where he'd be able to have a drink or two at the tavern. In the early morning, there'd be cobblers heading into town to sell their wares. 2 boxes of tobacco would let him hitch a ride. The young soldier recalls those barns from back home, always filled with the fermented smell of composted straw. Composted straw, I wonder how that smells. Actually, no, I imagine it smells like... Have you ever had one of those straw mats to nap on outside? I used to take one to elementary school all the time, and also to like these, not really summer camps, but summer day things, and then it was like this thin straw mat. It had like a very, very specific smell to it, but I didn't mind it. It was pretty comfortable. Anu, hello. Ooh, Duke Wellington, the Duke of Castor, and Duke Windermere. So those are the ones that could probably bow the sarcasm. Well, we're gonna learn more about Windermere here, based on that name drop earlier. Even now, that smell occasionally wafts to him in his dreams, making him want to pinch his nose, but at the same time, it represents a connection with his hometown. If it only occurs occasionally, then so be it. He furrows his brow quietly, deciding not to continue deluding himself with these sentiments. Even if it's only occasional, he doesn't want to experience that stench again. He must admit that is always the biggest impediment every time he returns home. Okay, now I'm wondering just how bad that smell is. Because if it's like the straw mats that I used to sleep on, in large quantities, that could be stinky.
Ugh, the fog's rising again. I'll never get used to Londinium's bloody weather. Wasn't much better when we were stationed at Lathanian's outskirts, but at least you could enjoy a little sunshine in the afternoon. Go, tell the captain, we can't see a thing at this weather observation outpost. Something's interfering with the radar too. We should head back. Castor's forces are obediently maintaining formation. Gododin moved his men further back. Other than the few familiar faces on the forward team, Old Wellington's main force still hasn't showed up. Other than our Duke Windermere, the remaining 7 dukes are watching on from the sidelines. The patrol's over. Sir, that's sarcasm. None of our business. The brass always has their own agenda. But I heard that the Londiniums... Piers, I've been a soldier for over a decade. After drinking and playing cards, the most important thing I've picked up from being in the army is... Those rumors you hear always bunkum and balderdash. Never pay any heed to them. The officers in the back have their eyes on the map and will take care of everything. Ours is but to do and die. Isn't it our duty to defend Victoria? Only they can decide what Victoria is, boy. Our job is simply to follow orders. Go and head back. Our day of peace is over. I ought to treat myself to a hot shower. This damn fog's making my bones ache.
Enjoy your hot shower, dude. Ooh, hello. Maybe things have been too stressful these days. The young soldier begins to thank himself for taking some time off to unwind. The battlefield always puts people on edge, even more so when you don't know where, when, or where war will break out, or who you can trust. He thinks to himself, it's a bit clammy. He lifts his hand to undo the first button of his shirt, seeing as how his dear officer had just declared the end of the armistice. A little disregard for protocol shouldn't matter. He thinks of the fireplace back home. A few years ago, he came home wearing a brand new military outfit, unwilling to undo even a single button despite sweating profusely from the heat of the hearth. For that, the young lass Shirley laughed at him for quite some time. Aw, he was so proud of his uniform. That's adorable. Oh, okay, the Duke of Castor was a classy lady. Okay, that classy old lady. I'm hoping she'd be an ally. Like, come on, ma'am, please. Like, she's dealing with that one operator that we ended up getting, so he's on our side in a way. Or actually, no, he's technically a middleman, so she seems neutral enough to us anyways. The young soldier curls the corner of his lips.
Heh. That's why I didn't bring you a sappy romance novel. Payback.
Well, no going back home now. Should have headed out before dinner. It's like, I think I'll head out after dinner.
Nope! Main cannon output is normal, confirming target destroyed. Good. Begin preparations for the next phase. The Dukes will react soon. Your Highness. Your Highness.
A new face?
Yes, Your Highness. I was just promoted from the mercenary unit by the General. It is the greatest honor. You've always been my...
It's an honor to make your acquaintance as well. What is your name?
My name is... I don't have a formal name. They just call me Elbow. Damn, I should have picked a name from a book.
Elbow? Why that name?
It's nothing. I just got burnt when I was drinking soup.
Wait, what? He burnt his elbow while drinking soup? Wait, how is he drinking soup? I thought you just hold the soup with your hands, or the bowl with your hands, not with your elbows. Though that could be a fun challenge. I think I'd want to try that at one point.
Challenge accepted. It's nothing. I just got burnt when I was drinking soup. I mean, it's a stupid story. Hardly worth your attention, Your Highness.
You must have been holding your bowl too high.
No, it was Plug. That bastard ran into me. The next time I see him, I swear. Your Highness. Oh, I'm sorry, General. Your Highness.
You may leave. It seems you still have a lot of work to do. I heard they're serving creamy vegetable chowder at the airship garrison tonight. Don't miss supper time.
Thank you, Your Highness Teresa. When each battle ends, the Sarkas have a home to return to. We'll be able to return to Kazo soon, right?
Of course. I prefer to be with them rather than with the aristocrats of the royal court. Each and every moment, the collective souls of the Sarkas force me to my knees, immersing me in our long and painful history. That was a cute interaction between Teresa and the new soldier. That was cute of Elbow being like, oh my god, I'm a fan of yours. And she was so kind to him too. And then of course Manfred's there, ruining the moment. Manfred. But yeah, she seems to really do care for her peoples. But these newly grown children, give me a tangible sense of the future. And what should we do with this future? Consign it to another round of wars sweeping across the land? When the scorched earth spreads as far as the eye can see, will these new seedlings sprout as we hope? Hope is as weighty as ever, Manfred.
Your Highness. In accordance with the military commission's plans, a section of Londinium has been detached. As of right now, it has arrived at the designated location, parked between the main city and the Duke's encirclement. It will become the cornerstone and launchpad of our next offensive, and this airship will also temporarily dock there. The Duke of Windermere should soon receive news that her high-speed battleship has been destroyed. But she also cannot ignore the threat this airship poses, which in turn will help the Nashzera King's front develop. In accordance with the Regent's instructions, we must next...
Take a look outside, General. Manfred turns to look out the window. He is forced to admit that the carefully planned flames burning before his eyes are not as exhilarating as he had imagined.
The firelight is blinding. Our war is finally broken out. According to the military commissioner's projections, the Dukes will cautiously proceed with military operations within 16 hours. We've already made our preparations.
No, the war never ended. It is not only ranks slipping through other ranks that is worthy of the name of war. Those eyes lurking behind the curtains, those curses whispered in the dead of night, those suppressed cries, are all war. Those compatriots who perished alone in the barrens, those robes dragged across the ground during the black processions, whose castle's bricks and tiles sealed away the collector's glass display case, were also war. War has always been a part of us. We simply pushed it out for all to see once again.
Even if the flames of war were ignited in Victoria, Castle has always been a part of the battlefield. I've already made many plans with the general about this.
No, Manfred. That's not what I was asking. I simply observed that beneath our feet, the shadow of this airship covers all indiscriminately. Put an end to it, General. If this ultimately is proven to be the only way for the Sarkaz, then drown tears with tears and bury suffering with suffering.
This is the only way. I will carry out your will, Your Highness.
Will you really, Manfred? Will you?
You see that? No mistake about it. Looks like it came straight out of a storybook. The harbinger of destruction, the prophet of turmoil, nightmare given form. So, you ever see that gloom pincer as big as a mountain, lugging along its chest of perfume? Yup, just like Red-Nosed Humbert talked about. Nine said before, you're in no condition to be drinking. I only had a sip. I don't have much time left. Leave me with my last bit of hope. You still remember that night on the snowfield, right? Everyone was freezing to death. And Red-Nosed Humbert told us about a strange legend from his village. Sorry, I signed on in Victoria. Oh really? I thought... Yeah, Red-Nosed Humbert died back in Ursus. He was a good guy. Took at least 4 of those patrol unit bastards with him. Damn it, you would have appreciated him and his stories. Gotta pour one out for him. You're drunk again, Romanich. How many times have to tell you? Hand over the flagon. Ma'am, I don't have much longer to live. Come on. You've still got a long life ahead of you. If you listen to the doctor. I hate doctors. They're all liars, all of them. I need these fluids. They let me see.
Mutters softly. And Teresa's line, if this ultimately proven the only way. It seems like she does think that there is other ways besides fighting an all-out war. It's like, come on, use talk no jutsu. But Manfred seems to believe that, you know, violence is the only answer. It's like, come on, Manfred, you sussy baka.
He's asleep again. Toss him a blanket. We can't be too far from Londinium now. Yeah, if we're lucky. We'll be able to see those city walls in just over a week. It'd be faster if we could fix that piece of junk car. You don't see catastrophes too often around Londinium, but given the current situation, it's virtually impossible to jump not to bump into any of the Duke's troops, and none of them are gonna welcome us. Then throw the sarcasm on top. We need to be even more cautious during our subsequent operations. We need to find our trapped people, whether they still think they're our people or not. Getting everyone back together is difficult, but we still feel the same pain and share the same sorrow. Those feelings never stop chasing us, and they force us to keep moving forward. I'm not saying that just to cope, but this is the only thing we can do with full peace of mind. Let those infected on the verge of despair know that they still have comrades out there, and that their lives aren't disposable. Stay where you belong. Tallulah?
Oh, looks like Tallulah came back after visiting her now beautiful, beautiful uncle. Oh, uncle, his new vessel. Beautiful lady.
9. I'm just getting a breath of fresh air. Fine, I have my eyes on you. Flames are burning, out there in the distance. They've been burning for some time now. Hopefully, it's just a patch of wood struck by lightning. Our squad will cross over. Lightning, huh? I saw you were making stew back at camp. I was just helping out the cook. She still had 2 baskets of potatoes to get through. I gave it a taste. Wasn't too bad. Alina, an old friend once taught me a few things. I thought I had forgotten it all. If you're still willing to play the part before facing justice, I won't stop you. But you'd best remember who you are, Tallulah. We'll be watching you, all of us. I know.
That's nice how Tallulah still remembers a skill her bestie Alina taught her.
Start packing up. It's time to go.
Everyone be having soup today.
Huh? I fell asleep? Damn it. Come on, 9. Take pity on us old men and let us have another sip. Otherwise, I'm as good as dead today. Bah, did you see that? The edge of the sky's blood red. Red nose, Humbert said. He said that's a good omen. A good omen, I tell you.
Is that really a good omen? That don't seem good to me.
He said that was the other shore victory. I don't exactly remember. Maybe it means tomorrow will be a good day, my friends.
Well, hopefully that means that's what it means. Sheesh. I believe in 9. Know right from wrong. Uh-oh. No fear. Yeah, this should be fine, and I'll take a sip of my boba after I start this. Delicious. I'll wait for them to have like a little talkie-talkie part, yep.
For this special operation in Norport, we'll start with limited initial deployment resources.
Oh, I see. Okay, good thing I have Myrtle to increase my cost.
Fortunately, victorious citizens will come to our aid and replenish our deployment resources once they enter our protection zone.
Oh no, I gotta take care of people.
However, there are spies hidden among them. Our operators will begin to identify any unidentified civilians once they enter their attack range or become blocked. After some time has passed, we will only be able to ascertain whether they are spies.
Sheesh. More people to take care of. Plus there's gonna be spies.
No, there's imposters among us.
And now I can enjoy a sip of tea. I've been loving bubble tea with cheese foam. Like, cheese foam just hits different. I'm gonna enjoy the ability to drink milk as long as I can.
Legitimate civilians will no longer be blocked once their identity has been confirmed. But keep in mind that only identified civilians will replenish our deployment resources once they enter our protection zone.
Sounds good. I'm so happy for Myrtle, unless Myrtle doesn't let me replenish my cost. In that case, sadness. Hey, that guy looks kinda sus. Is he a spy?
You can often tell a spy from a civilian by subtle differences in their behavior.
Like that one just standing there menacingly? Going the other direction than the others?
Look, we've detected signs that that one's a spy.
Of course. Ooh, hello, hello. Can I bonk him?
Suspicious individuals reveal their true colors when a little while after they're identified. Stop the spies!
Will do. For Enfield, one thing that I was surprised by that wasn't inside like the videos, or maybe it was just for a brief moment, that I just happened to see it. Oh no, I got distracted. My bad. That I just happened to see on my feed was that you can choose your MC. I want MC Chan. She cute. I should bring out a healer, you know, that'd be smart. Healers are good, they keep you healthy. This'll be fine. And yeah, it might have something to do with Rhine Labs since it looks like there's a lot of sciencey stuff, especially with what look like those terraforming machines that dropped out of the sky. Like, of course the lab would want to research them.
Yay, victory!
And now I want one more piece of boba before I continue. Man, I might have waited too long. They're kind of stuck to the side of the cup. They're still tasty. Reception party. I just gotta make sure to drink or eat all the boba before they turn nasty. I don't like when they become super hard if I let them sit for a while. Either super hard or super slimy, gross. We've confirmed that a high-speed warship belonging to the Duke of Windermere was attacked by an unknown Sarkaz weapon. There were no survivors. Our preliminary conclusion is that the weapon in question is indeed the structure that briefly appeared in the skies over Londinium. Based on the frontline evaluation from the remote observation team, the weapon's powerful mid-air suspension abilities and the efficiency of its originium arts generator deserve due caution. It is impossible to evaluate the Sarkaz's technological base for manufacturing large-scale armed aerial vehicles, given the information we currently have. We are in the process of gathering more intel. However, until it has been proven that the Sarkaz possess the technological means to mass-produce such weapons, we would recommend against categorizing this target at the highest threat level for the time being, as countermeasures have already been deployed. Ooh, map. It should be noted that Norport Borough, Londinium's old logistics district, was separated from the main body of Londinium City yesterday. The plate is now docked by itself between the city and the Londinium peripheral front, formed by the various dukes. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Londinium and Norport right there. Duke of Windermere up there with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it looks like all of them pretty much have 7 7 little things by them. I like how Windermere is bright yellow while Castor and Wellington are just chill, as one do. We have reason to suspect that the Sarkas are trying to convert this plate into a forward operating base, using it to support their state of large-scale military operations in the foreseeable future. It will likely also be used as a temporary stop for the large-scale Sarkas weapon. The current commander of the Londinium base, the Londinium Defense Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Leto, issued a statement claiming that Norport was accidentally separated from Londinium's main body due to technical reasons. A large number of Londinium citizens still remain on the plate, and the defense forces are preparing to launch a rescue plan for these citizens. The remote observation team has provided several photos taken on the scene. At the moment, we are not planning any large-scale operations against this plate. However, intelligence personnel believes that the series of irregular staffing transfers between the Duke of Windermere's mobile fortress and the ironclad Galavay over the last 8 hours is likely related to the situation in Noport. Several analytics have pointed out that the Duke of Windermere's military claims to this plate are more radical than we previously anticipated, and the specific reasons behind this warrant a more in-depth investigation. We are monitoring the other Dukes' attitudes and subsequent actions in response to the Sarkas attack, and will be submitting routine analysis reports at shorter intervals. Awaiting further instructions. Oh, hello, Duke of Castor. Technical reasons. How unsophisticated. But it gets the job done. They know full well that we all care greatly about our own reputations, especially in the face of Victoria's coming future. Her outfit is just so classy. I imagine it being silky too. I want to wear something like that someday. Looks very elegant and professional. So they also decide to throw out a bit of bait. Humph. A flying fortress, huh? It pains me to say this, but as long as they're holding Norport Borough at gunpoint, things are going to get messy. Now, even Wellington doesn't have the nerve to rush over with his high-speed warship, rain fire down on the logistics area, and snatch away his new toy. But he won't be able to resist the temptation. Affirmative. The Duke of Wellington's troops have sped up their advance. We suspect he's already gained intel on the airship. The massive airship is indeed beyond our calculations, and it has the potential to reshape the future wars. But, as the intelligence says, we're far from the point of things spiraling out of control. According to our estimates, even if the Sarkas had a secret channel for transporting supplies, they wouldn't have had the time or resource to build multiple airships. Those damn devils can hardly bring out the value of this technology, but perhaps we can. That's right, naturally. This is extremely important to me. Even if I don't give the order, I expect that you'll bring it to me. However, our gaze ought to be cast wider than just this singular piece of technology. What really worries me is, we've let the Sarkas run amok in the Shard for far too long. Even the most dim-witted fools will eventually figure out what lies behind those buttons and levers. Allerdale, I don't blame her. She was never ambitious enough. That was her strong suit, and I allowed her to keep it, but it doesn't look like there's any way to make use of our Stone of the Sword. Rest assured, the dukes who supported you, along with their vassals, are still resolutely on your side. I promised them peace and safety, and I will deliver. That's a nice promise of peace and safety. Cool. I'm fine with Allerdale being on Castor's side, just because Castor does seem like... She still seems like she'd be the neutral between us. As in Rhodes Island. Just because we do have some operators that are on her side, you know? Forever honor one's commitments. That has always been the motto of House Castor since ancient times. Trilby Asher is already being dealt with. Naturally, they always have a way.
Then, Your Grace, about the citizens of Norport. Lieutenant Colonel Leto said that he was preparing a rescue plan. You won't go wrong putting your trust in that Gaulish commander. I've met him before. He's an interesting man. The Sarkets have never publicly claimed to occupy Londinium, as it has nominally been under the control of the defense forces. And this lieutenant colonel has managed to survive in his position for 4 years without getting caught up in any major trouble either. We all know what those devils are like, so the fact alone is respectable enough. Who knows? Maybe he's even more keen on becoming a savior than we are. I see what you're saying. Getting the right people in the right positions and turning valued friends into truly loyal partners is harder than we initially expected. Old Wellington knows what I want, and I know what he wants. Though we've never talked about these things openly, we naturally helped each other, all while keeping an extra knife sharpened for one another. Poor thing, Windermere's been playing with the Lithuanians for so long. It might be a while until she remembers how Victoria works. Indeed. We still don't quite understand why the Duke of Windermere is so keenly interested in Norport's affairs. Does she also want that airship technology? Maybe she wants to add another card to her hand. She knows she's in for a rough time soon. With opportunity comes desire. Both are as honey, equally effective at leading people into the abyss.
Well, Leto... We saved him, so we could probably help him get his men, because at the very least, it seemed like he did care about his troops, so he can be their savior, but not, actively going out the savior routine. Since he is more of a neutral, like a neutral.
That cousin of mine failed to understand this, which is why he's been dead for 26 years. He still appears in my dreams from time to time. Can't say I ever liked him. He was a bombastic, self-righteous boy. When we were young, he'd run up and down the corridors of the palace, spouting quotes from past kings he saw in some book. And he'd always spew the same trite platitudes. A role model for the masses, noblesse oblige, what have you. He treated those words as his guiding compass, though they probably didn't even come from the kings that they were attributed to. In all likelihood, they were flattering embellishments added by the royal archivists. He actually believed those words and paid the price for it. But despite all that, I sometimes still miss him. During those years he was still around, we could pretend all was well. But now, even the dullest of men must open their eyes and bear witness to all of our ugliness, covetedness, and opportunism. War has broken out, and its advent has fulfilled everyone's wishes at all. Your Grace, this is also your chance to unite Victoria. Unity. Victoria has been trodden upon and sullied for far too long. You have the right to restore her glory. This war is for Victoria. No, my child. This war is not for Victoria alone. Victoria, how we love to speak the name of our country. No, it's nothing more than a rag to cover festering abscesses when the people are in need of morality. An empty husk to exploit hope when people are in need of dignity. All those farmers, laborers, soldiers, and nobles, all these who despise each other, who grope at each other's throats, why does lumping all of them together make the great Victoria? When they speak of Victoria, what is it they refer to? The fields they've tilled for half a lifetime? The factories that gorged on their blood and tears? Collections of looted artifacts? Great halls of important carpets? A splotch of color with a line of text on an atlas, or a news headline and a set of economic figures on a television set? Or is it the vast, glorious, and invincible empire built upon the foundations of each man's imagination? Let us prepare ourselves. Let us wait with bated breath. Take a good look. Witness where this war will take us.
Ooh,
Good day, sir. Let me guess, you want to be strung up on the fence too, huh? To be honest, I don't have a lot of fun with that job. I suggest you turn around and crawl back to where you belong. No, please wait, good sir. The others wanted me to come talk to you. That's not what I meant. We just have a few trivial issues, so if you could show us a bit more mercy.
I wonder what them trivial issues be. Yeah. It's probably gonna be a longer war. I don't think it's all gonna be patched up nicely in just chapter 12. I'm guessing at least maybe 3 chapters.
When did you Victorians start taking us devils for a bunch of bleeding hearts? All we wanted was to know what was going on in Norport Borough. Nothing worth mentioning. What if? Look, we can still scrounge up some valuable trinkets. Surely, you've heard of Sargon's gems? I have a number of them here. Get lost. I get it, you're not interested, huh? I also have a collection of old Gaulish paintings that are said to be priceless. Oh, alright. Maybe I was out of line to say that. This is going to cost me my life, isn't it? How about a Sancta Patron firearm? I just happen to have one stashed away back home.
I like how this guy is just trying to bribe him. It's like, you want these pretty rocks? Like, I don't find value in them shiny rocks. How about these paintings? Meh. It's like, well, what about a Sancta firearm? Not sure how he got that, but...
Interesting. You've got your hands on an Angel's Guardian gun, huh? Oh, it's not mine though. It's just for safekeeping. Heavens, those angels from the Notarial Hall are going to flay me alive if they find out. But if you're interested, I just happen to hear you. The Sarkas enjoy collecting them, so... Listen up. I prefer my angelic toys freshly looted from a pile of corpses. Now piss off.
I kind of understand that. Yeah, I do understand that. In games, I do prefer getting my own loot rather than... Like, it's nice getting freebies every so often, but it's more satisfying getting your own drops. So I understand what the soldier's saying, but at the same time it's bad, but I understand.
Sarkas, we just want to know what's going on. This is a perfectly legitimate request. So many of us have been driven out of our homes and crammed into the little ghetto with no place to live, no food, and no freedom. Now all we want is an explanation. Are all these houses not good enough for you? Pick a door, any door. Knock on one of them, and get your sorry ass inside. What more do you want? A bathtub with a built-in back massager? You can't treat us like this. We're the Defense Forces. I personally know Leto and want to speak with them. We haven't broken any rules.
Oh! She cute. Wait. I just want to stare at her. Yeah, she cute. I love pink hair. That's enough, mister. Be careful. They're armed.
Let go of me. What do I have to be careful for? Listen up, Sarkas. I've lived here for 30 years. This is my city. This is my neighborhood. I know you've taken over those factories. I know you lust after Londinium's wealth, so take it. Splitting off of a few factories won't put a dent in Victoria's glory. But I am my own man. Not even the king can take my home. Tell me, why did Norport Borough drive out Londiniums overnight? What's the meaning of all these walls outside the borough?
Hey, are you trying to get yourself killed?
What possessed you into thinking that you could challenge my authority? Wait, please, good sir. He doesn't know what he's talking about. What a waste. Listen up, you sorry worms. To tell the truth, I'd like nothing more than to slaughter each and every one of you right now. Seeing your faces makes me sick. But the boss says you lot are still useful.
Yeah, it sucks for like the regular citizens. They're probably starving. But the ones who are super duper rich, I imagine they have lots and lots of food still at home. And if not,
oof for them too. So I promised them I'd show a little restraint. This is the grace I'd afforded you, but know that I can take it back just as easily.
Hurry, run. Get away from here.
Help!
Wow, of course the one that got away was the one with who was going to bribe the dude. Of course he's the one who lives.
Run as fast as you can, pathetic Victorians. You've had your fun already. Now, it's time to get a taste of the life once forced onto us. In every nook and cranny, hide beneath every shadow, rip up your morality and swallow your dignity. This is everything we Sarkas have experienced. Now rejoice, because it's yours too. Call it equality. This is the kind of equality you've never known. Explain myself, answer your questions. No, this is war, you dipshits. Learn it, embrace it, just like we did for thousands of years. Sob. Where am I?
Stop your blabbering already. Did you think they invited you here for a picnic? You can guess where the people who weren't so willing to come ended up. Call me Byard, you're hurt, and need your wounds dressed. I love that shade of purple for a shirt. It's pretty. Follow me. That is truly a pretty shade of purple. Reception party. Well, time to see where these goons come from. Okay, over here. Not too bad. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. I mean, this is fine. Fine indeed. I could just have some people bully that area. Yeah, like right here. Heh. No fear, no fear. Oh gosh, all these civilians! Man, having to take care of them, babysitting. What you doing, sussy sir?
Sir, you're being sus.
This is fine for now. We're just testing him out. Yep, he's being sus. Get out of here, sir. The ones who are sus, I guess, are going this way.
Stop it, sir.
Like, if not a Mia, I feel like if Teresa really wanted to choose like a Sarkas for her successor, she'd probably choose a young one. One who is not known war. Just because the older ones are just hell-bent on sharing the pain, you know?
It's like equivalent exchange. I've suffered, so you must suffer now.
Oh no, there's more dudes coming this way. Can you just like not? I want to bring a mud rock. Hurry up. Let me bring her out, please. Or actually, no, I'll bring up Monster. Yeah, this be fine. And since it's almost done, I can drink more of my boba.
Mission accomplished.
Yummy. Alright, we should be safe here. Cador, it's still a mess outside. We're most certainly not in Londinium anymore. I reckon we can see the situation outside the plate from the top of the old loading tower, but I can't get near it. It's outside the restricted area.
And I reckon even if you could spot anything, it wouldn't mean a thing. The Sarcats keep a close eye, and there are too many of them. Alright. Hello, Cador. You look like you're a fighter. You look like you can punch good. And what's this old bloke's story? Humph. He was trying to talk terms with the Sarcas. And how that turned out? Take a look yourself. There, that's about all I can do, bandaging your wound. Thank you. Goodness, why? Just what happened? What else could have happened? The Sark have been in Londinium for 4 years now. You can't possibly still think they were invited here by that poor sod Cavendish as his guest, right? But they haven't ever what? You must be one of those noblemen who never leave their mansions and need their maids to fetch them their morning sister milk. How could you fall so low as to find yourself in Norport? No, I'm but a scholar. I merely have run into a certain troubles financially. As soon as I finish my manuscript, I shall... Drat! The manuscript is still in my study! Byard. You really got a knack for finding these poor, down-on-their-luck bastards, don't you? Would you at least have some respect? If all goes well, it's very likely I will become the Royal Academies of Sciences' next... academician. Very likely. Ha. I still don't understand. The news kept saying that all is well. What more do you want them to say? Friends and citizens, I sincerely regret to inform you that Londinium is now a shithole. The special instructors that they sent to the newspaper offices and TV stations actually earned their keep, you know. Did you see whose flag they were flying above the munitions factory in Highbury? If not, you've got to at least remember the fire in Osterreich the other day, right? But the war? What about the defense forces, the Dukes? Are they defending us all around Londinium? How can this be? The Sarkis can't possibly triumph over the Dukes, can they? The Devils are a bunch of savages who cower in the wilderness, but Victoria is the greatest country across all the lands. Who told you that? Did you realize that out of nowhere while munching on a cake at home? I didn't feel that way at all when the Dibbles held me up against the wall and frisked me. Alright, next academician. Off you go. You don't belong here. But where can I go? My flat is not in this lockdown zone and I haven't the slightest idea where my loyal servant is. I know no one here. Shh.
What can you do? Medical work, sewing, repair, anything.
My research is in heraldry. You scholarly chaps ever studied how to turn air into steaks? Well, it is by no means my area of expertise, but I imagine it's a little difficult. Byard, stop bringing these fancy lads back, will ya? He doesn't even understand sarcasm. We don't have a lot of supplies on hand here.
Maybe. He can help Delphine manage the warehouse. Byard, stop trying to pass all your problems to me. I can't very well watch him die out on the street. At times like this, we have to come together and unite as one. Even having one extra man on board is more power to us. Come together. I wish Parliament and the Dukes would learn from you people. We wouldn't have fallen to where we are today. Do you think they're not united enough? They were all very united when it came to hanging the king. That was... never mind. I just hope you'll be of some use, Mr. Next Academician.
I shall do everything in my power. Though, speaking of which, who would all of you be? Who are we? Alright, welcome to our gym. The Slobber Knocker. You can call us Glasgow.
Hey, more Glasgow. Heidi, How have you been? To tell the truth, I haven't any idea where you have been as of late. Ever since Mr. Adams, the bookshop owner, died, I haven't been able to reach you. It has been a long time since I last continued our work. Forgive me, my dear friend. I never hide anything from you. But I'm truly very befuddled. You once told me that peace would come again, but I can't fool myself with false hope anymore. I can't hide in my room and pretend that everything we do is still meaningful. Right, we could look at things on a broader scale. The dimension of history, of course, peace will come. It will come eventually. And war will undoubtedly shatter it in an even crueler way. I once thought we could win, and I still hope that we can win. But Heidi, if everything that we have done amounts to nothing but self-comfort, no, not if, this might already be the truth. These books, these desks, and this school that may come crumbling down at any moment. How are they meant to stand up against the force of a new era? Heidi, I can't keep going anymore. What should I do? Oh no, it's Sus Molly. It's the imposter. The imposter among us. Lady Golding, are you alright? Molly, you're back. Are you writing a letter? No, this is nothing. I just remembered a few novels that I read before. The protagonists are always charming, suave, always heading to the front lines wearing a uniform befitting of them with a pipe in their mouths. But the authors never tell us which battlefields they head to and how the trenches smell. Those who are enamored by the other protagonists, both women and men, taste fine desserts with anxious hearts. Of course, we all know these are just literary techniques. The stories always end happily. Authors with a little bit of ambition might try and build what the critics call a profound atmosphere. The stories are adorned with preventable deaths, and they are always a protagonist's comrade and dearest friend, dying in the trenches to shield the hero. In the end, the wretched enemy finds themselves defeated by the hero's sword, thus restoring justice and morality. And at his fallen friend's funeral, a solemn crowd gathers to remember his heroics, as petals symbolizing honor are scattered atop the casket. This is the most emotional part. The protagonist clenches his fist, wipes his tears, and looks forward toward the morning sun with resolve. And without fail, they always say that hope will come and all sacrifices will be meaningful. And that's where the author stops. Let the readers imagine for themselves that truly beautiful future. Let them bask in that stately feeling in the end. I'm surprised you read these kinds of novels. It was years ago. Everyone was that age once. I used to be obsessed with these books when I was still a young girl. I wasn't very attached to the protagonists, actually, but I was indeed obsessed with those deaths. Sometimes, I imagine myself one of those heroes who sacrifice themselves for their cause, and the masses would sing my praises for the era that I helped create, or at the very least, my sacrifice. Huh, how childish. Later on, I thought I'd be clear-headed enough to see past these sugar-coated fantasies. But then, I started to notice there might be nothing inherently different between who I am now and who I was back then. Don't say that. You told the children yourself death is a solemn topic. Huh, did I? I don't remember. Perhaps it was just the lectures that I've got so used to giving. How was procurement today? Not too bad. The situation on the streets isn't very serious. The prices at the shops haven't gone up, though there were more city defense soldiers than usual. And the Sarkat soldiers, they're not as secretive as they used to be. But everyone is pretending as if nothing had happened, except what used to be Norport. There is nothing left except the support structures extending the surrounding districts.
What about those places? I need to apologize to you again. I never should have dragged you into this. It's just, Letso has his eyes on me, and every time I step out the door, I find myself followed by several ill-meaning men. I had no choice but to make a gamble that you were not on their watch list yet.
No, I'm glad to do my part for Lindinium. It's just that the places you told me about were all pretty quiet. I used the passwords, but no one answered. Maybe they've already given up?
No, they're all stronger than I am, much stronger.
But I found a letter. It should be for you, so I didn't open it.
No, this isn't their handwriting. The letter has practically all information on the Self-Salvation Corps' communications.
What? But how could that...
This is a threat.
Yeah, the only person who knows Golding is probably Heidi. And the students, but mainly Heidi.
They know us like the back of their hand.
Then, what should we do, Lady Golding?
Molly, I'll have another list of places for you. I've never been to these bases myself, but having analyzed the flow of information, they should be there.
This is sad. Poor Golding. She's just basically sending all of her informant friends out into like their doom, since this is sus Molly. This isn't her friend Molly, it's sus Molly.
I shouldn't take the risk. This goes against our established practices, but...
This information is important to the Self-Salvation Corps, right?
Many lives are on the line.
Then we must do this.
Molly, just as I taught you, watch out for anyone who could be telling you, whether they are sarcasm or not, do not let your guard down. Look for a girl called Clovicia there, or anyone who can get in contact with her. Tell them that the entire intelligence network has been exposed. They must evacuate immediately.
Ah, Clovicia, huh? Lady Golding, where are you going?
To Letso's office. I would try to buy as much time as I can for the rest of you.
But...
Relax. I'll be fine. I just hope I'm stronger than I think I am.
Doctor, I had a dream. I saw the city shrouded in dark clouds, and the bloodstained Sarkaz flags flew above every building. Outside the city, originium grew everywhere my eyes could see. I saw a rusted throne towering above the lands. The masses kneeled before it, crying tears stained in black. I saw the person on the throne wave their arm, and the shouts that followed pierced the sky. Yet, in the shadow of the throne, the cowering men lifted their heads ever so slightly. Not sure what kind of mental toll that would have. I feel like it depends on the person. Like how strong they are and how... Like if they're extroverted or introverted. Because if they're introverted, I feel like they'd be able to handle it a bit better. But if it's a person who actually needs others by their sides, then they'd be suffering. Like even more. Yet, in the shadow of the throne, the cowering men lifted their heads ever so slightly. I felt what they felt. I don't know how to describe it. It was so all over the place, so stifled. I could only make out what was on the surface, that pain and hatred. Who was that on the throne? Is this the future that the collective souls of the Sarkaz foresaw? Or is this the duty of the King of Sarkaz? Did Teresa have this dream? Could this be the sight she is looking forward to now? No, it can't be. Doctor, this dream, it doesn't mean anything, right? You're just exhausted. It's just a dream, Amiya. Thank you, doctor. Right. It was just a dream. And because it was just a dream, reality could be different from that.
Amiya, doctor.
Is Dr. Kelsey better?
Hard to say. Her body was frail to start with, and her wounds are deep. Shiny has attempted several solutions, but all of them were limited in their effectiveness. She is yet to awaken. Monster seems to be slowly repairing itself. Likewise, we do not have any idea how well it will recover, or whether it can actually even recover.
Doctor, at the Defense Forces Command Tower, if only Everyone did their best. None of us expected to see Teresa's there. Everyone did their best. Dr. Kelsey, I never once imagined that Dr. Kelsey would one day be wounded this badly. She always solved all our problems like they were nothing. She gave us the best advice for every situation. She's Dr. Kelsey. I've never even seen her look tired. But now... Doctor, take Amiya's hand. I know. I will bear the responsibilities that are mine to bear. Rhodes Island's mission here is still far from over. But I want to see Dr. Kelsey one more time. May I? Even if it's just sitting there by her bed for a short while.
Rather than staying with the wounded, you two have more important work to do. Closure wants you to know that she has finished analyzing the data from the command tower. Clovesia is calling a meeting. We need to reevaluate the situation at Londinium.
War has broken out. Our initial plans have failed. War has broken out.
Then please tell us what our step should be.
So yes, tell you the next step after the meeting, we shall see. Clovesia, what did you tell me? Benevolent betrayal. No betrayal. Betrayal is still betrayal, even if it's technically benevolent. And before starting, more bubble tea before it gets gross. Actually, I think I can finish it now. I'm just gonna do it. Let's just finish it. Or not. You know, I pressed start already. I'll finish it during the fight. Amiya, doctor, you're here. As you can see, the morale here is rather low right now. It's a mess, but please pay no mind. Ever since Allerdale left, our logistics have been in shambles. But given the problems we face, this is the best solution we have. We lost many men in our last battle. We once thought that these sacrifices would not be in vain, and that as long as we stopped the Sarkaz's projects, everything would still be salvageable. Regrettably, they acted much faster than we anticipated. The Sarkaz, not only do they have the shard, they also built that airship. The report has been distributed to everyone. The airship attacked the Duke of Windermere's army out in the open. The illusion of peace has shattered. As for the shard, if the Sarkaz willingly started this war, then their control of the shard must have proceeded much farther along than we expected. I'm too afraid to make this gamble.
Allerdale once told me of the legend of the sword. She said that the size of kings, capable of rendering catastrophes asunder, is Victoria's strongest shield, with which the country can defend itself against the storms pulled towards it.
Then she must have also told you that the Stone of the Sword beneath the palace exists precisely because there are few who can activate this power.
Siege, do you really feel nothing from the sword? Maybe, I don't know, like a sense of being summoned, or perhaps there's a low heat? Maybe you can suddenly use some really wicked Originium arts? You just might actually be able to. No, nothing. The sword is cold and hard. It's a little lighter to swing than a hammer, and not very easy to control your strength with. Is there nothing else? if any part of you feels a little bit off, we should have this polished before it sees the battlefield again. It's a little rusted.
It seems we can't count the sword doing as much of a good turn and helping us fend off the threat from the shard for the time being. Aw man, I can't see the awesome sword in action. No noble phantasms here. But it also won't become a bargaining chip in the Duke's eternal strife. The Sarkis might just think twice before they activate the shard. Right, Dr. Rhodes Island. It is better for the sword to be under our control than any other faction. At the very least, being able to prevent it from becoming an accomplice to this war is important enough.
Important enough? This is important enough. Allerdale, if only I...
Please don't get discouraged, Siege. Maybe you just haven't gotten the hang of it, or it's not time yet. I'm just about done analyzing that supply line, Doctor. It's practically guaranteed that the starting point is a rural Brentwood, but it's got a lot of endpoints. Aside from the munitions factory in Highbury, it's very likely that they have a route that extends right underneath the shard. Arg, we found it out way too late. If only we found out a month, no 10 days sooner. Things probably wouldn't have turned out the way they have.
That said, the intel about the supply route is still meaningful, Doctor. If this route is capable of the transport of heavy supplies and leads straight to the bottom of the shard,
we can transport more supplies there. This is an opportunity for a counter-offense.
That's right. With war having broken out, there might not be a lot of guards around to recess. Each lord of the royal court has to command their subordinates to fend off the dukes. The Liches joining the fray would be a problem, but from what I know about them, they wouldn't truly pick a side. Besides, I'm sure Dame Kelsey talked to their messenger before. I just hope that they opted to follow her advice. Now we'd best... Vina, you ought to at least bring up what happened in Norport. It's our turf that those Sarkis arseholes gutted out. Bard is still there. Bloody bastards! Instead of a counter-offense under the supply lines, we should be helping them. Calm down. We must think about the whole situation. You little twat, you think being a knight gives you the right to teach me to look at the big picture? I don't give a shite about wiping out some old Sarkis monsters. My friends are in danger. My home is in danger.
I feel for Indra. Protect the homies. Oh, sadness. Sadness, sadness. That would be cool if a Sarkis could become a Sancta. Yeah, that would be fun.
And you want me to bloody stand aside and do nothing? No. I know you're restless, but we must consider all possibilities.
I do not recommend splitting up. Until we are certain that the ones who attempted to take the Realm Blade have given up, you'd best
cower underground like cowards. Give me a break. We can take care of those sneaky bastards. What we have to do now is... Enough, Indra. Fine. When will the operation targeting Teresa's commence? Not very soon. We need time to observe the supply line's specific situation. The shard's internal structure needs to be investigated too. Teresa's. He's powerful. Letting our guards down would only spell our doom. How long will it take more specifically? Less than half a month. I hope to put a stop to all this before he truly activates the shard. That's good enough. Dr. Misaki Nobunaga, I am requesting a temporary leave before this operation. Please rest assured that I will be back before this operation is to commence.
So you insist on going to Norport?
I've lost enough friends already, Clovicia. I can't just do nothing over and over again. I am making this request out of my personal feelings, yes. I won't try to hide this. But at the same time, I think this is an opportunity. Before our normal operation officially begins, we can first remove certain hidden threats. For example, those who hurt Allerdale and those who want the size of kings. That's without a doubt a duke. No matter what position he's planning to take, I think I should have a conversation with him.
Ascalon said this already, but time is not on our side.
I understand. I will handle this properly.
Doctor, what do you think? ... There are still many things. There are still things worthy of our attention on that plate. Right. The Sarkas airship is very likely docked in Norport. And this also implies Teresa might be there. In this war, we will have to face her sooner or later. There's another thing Logos mentioned to me.
Emergency! Ishin, emergency! The Sarkas ambushed the Camden Borough safe house. Their forces...
Camden, what's going on?
Alert. The safe house at Osterig. Being ambushed. Faced. The safe house in Highbury is under attack.
No, Catherine! Grandma, stay safe. Stay safe, Granny.
What's the situation over there? We're mounting a counterattack and are evacuating underground. The situation's dire. It's likely that the Sarkas have... This is not a simple annihilation. They're planning to... Granny, do you hear me? Drat, the transmission's cut off. What's going on? We have 3 safe houses under attack by the Sarkas. Their communications have been cut off. We must back them up immediately.
Ouch. Oh, sadness. Oh, man. Yeah, it is too dangerous to be here because of the information being, laundered right now. Like, oh, sadness. Sus, imposter Molly. No, it's not just the 3 safe houses. Our communications have been cut off.
Get down, Doctor.
Oh? They're here too?
Clovicia, what's going on? How can this be? Here? This place is top secret within the Self-Salvation Corps.
Logos mentioned to me that it's possible the Sarkas have infiltrated our intelligence network. Based on the situation we now find ourselves in, I can only assume that the failure of our confidentiality far exceeds what we anticipated. It's very likely that all Self-Salvation Corps bases are under attack.
We must evacuate.
Where can we go, though?
Everyone, the Sarkas assault is fierce. They've had their eyes on this place for a long time, and the routes on the surface have already fallen. The mid-level buffer zone has been breached too. Doctor, the enemy is using a new Sarkas witchcraft device. With their numbers and strength, our defense forces and Self-Salvation Corps' friends won't be able to withstand this assault. Truth be told, we have no chance of winning. Robin, who's in charge of organizing defense, won't last very long.
How much time can they buy us?
15 minutes. No, half an hour. That's all the time we have.
Evacuate? Where are we supposed to run? There isn't anywhere safe for the Self-Salvation Corps to go in Londinium. The equipment factory's 3rd warehouse? The car park of the Four Seasons department store? Maybe Viscount Brian's mansion? No, they're all too risky. There has to be somewhere else. If it's dangerous everywhere in Londinium, we can evacuate the city for the time being. Evacuate Londinium? But... Right, the Sarkas supply line. We can use the supply line in Highbury and get the hell out of Londinium. We've got too many wounded men and non-combatants. Taking an underground route will help us avoid most of the fighting.
But all of our work in Londinium... The onslaught we are facing tells us that they simply thought they had no need to wipe us out before. Now that the war has broken out, the military commission has started to truly see the Self-Salvation Corps as a threat. We have no time to hesitate. I need to head out immediately to back Robin up. We will try to draw the Sarkas' main force's attention the best we can to recover your evacuation.
Very well. Amiya, Doctor, the self-salvation cars will need your assistance in this evacuation. We will never abandon our allies. Ascalon, mount the breakout. Misery, destroy all files. Ascalon, let's mount the breakout.
Understood.
Logos,
I'm here.
help Horan and her team buy us time.
Rest assured, Doctor. I will guarantee your safety. Before we could finalize plans to relocate and secure communications, the Royal Court picked the perfect time for this annihilation operation.
It seems they know us better than we had imagined.
Teresa's has also gotten sharper, not like when he was simply pretending. If it's certain that this place will fall, I guess, it won't matter if we go all out.
Logos, we will be back.
You can rebuild this place.
Next, we need to find the entrance to the Highbury supply route. Ooh, hello, hello. Faced, this is where you come in. Rock, you know the underground passages better than anyone. I'ma believe in you, Rock. The retreat isn't an L. This is a new mission. Survive. And as long as we survive while moving to a new location, that's a W.
Rest assured, I will evacuate safely with the wounded.
Closure, take all the wounded and non-combatants and go with them. I'm counting on you and Shining to take care of Kelsey. What? Huh? Hey, Dr. Misaki, what kind of sick joke is this? If I'm supposed to be a non-combatant, then so are you. You bet your ass I can beat the crap out of you. It's you who should be evacuating with the rest of them. Amiya and Ascalon will make sure I will be safe. We will hold the Sarkaz pursuers. This is the safest way. Amiya and Ascalon will make sure I'm safe. I trust them. Doctor, I won't let you get hurt. Is there a way to prevent his ability? Not really, unfortunately. Since he can just take on the form of whoever he wants. Though it's not going to be perfect based on how he got the weight wrong at first for one of the Self-Salvation Corps allies. And how, like, face guys notice, like, hey, my dude, your weight feels different than usual. It's like, oops, my bad. So, we've got 3 teams. Horan, Misery, and Logos will lead the primary operation to resist the Sarkaz assault. Doctor, you go with Amiya and Siege's gang to hold the other Sarkaz pursuers. Shining and I will follow the rest of the Self-Salvation Corps and evacuate this place without making any noise. Where are we gonna meet up in the end? The small town outside Londinium. Brentwood. Alright, objective confirmed. We're now in war. It won't spare any one of us. But we also mustn't lose hope. We got this.
Oh gosh, so many people. But just be fine. Look at them just walking around menacingly.
I'm just glad I don't have to keep them alive. That's the one good thing. They just do what they want to do. Which is annoying, but not too bad.
Oh gosh. No, so many of them. Too many dudes.
Well, this time seems to be the safe side. Yeah, at the very, very least, this is a safe side. That means whoever goes on the right, top right, are sus. But this be fine for now. I just wish I could bring out my chin, but no. Okay, now I can bring her out.
ここは私に任せろ。
And let's just put Monster here. Monster can say hello to the people. Or not.
命令を。お前の攻撃は想定の通りだ。
Oh no, I finished all the drink without mixing in the cheese foam. I feel sad. No, they're getting through.
こちらチェン。時間には限りがあるんだ。
Oh well. They're still fine. We'll slowly watch them.
決まったか。なんだ。己が存在を自らに問え。
Oh, good. Let me just finish the rest of this cheese foam. Man, that was yummy, but I'm a little bit sad that I couldn't take all the cheese foam. Man. Oh, there's letters?
Come in. You're here, Golding.
Leto, you know better. You know us better than I ever imagined.
What do you mean?
The Londinium Self-Salvation Corps. Where'd you get this information from?
Does it matter? Have a seat, Lady Golding, please. There is no reason for you to feel anxious. This war is not between you and I.
Answer me, Lieutenant Colonel.
I know why you came, Golding. You want to buy time. You are under the impression you have enough leverage to discuss terms. You think you can still help your friends. How regrettable. I thought you would be wiser.
We had a conversation not too long ago. You said you did not want to see Londinium become the next Lingoness. Take a look around us. Take a look at the deep abyss that Londinium is plunging into. Is this the choice you made for yourself that you spoke about?
Golding. Didn't you rebut me on that? Correct. We're plunging toward the abyss. War has begun. War once tore apart Gaul, our homeland. What will it tear apart this time? Maybe it'll be the Sarkaz, maybe it'll be Victoria.
You know how disastrous this will be. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people
will bleed, die, and buried by this era.
You know that better than anyone.
That is correct. I know this very well. But I must also admit that it was you who opened my eyes. You made me reflect on my decision. If I had to question my conscience, I would not have cared nearly as much. Let us cast aside those hypocritical high hopes of mankind or civilization, Golding. When we were young, we talked freely of the subjects and, with nothing but admiration in our hearts, sung the praises of the outstanding men and women in history. Mankind, the master of all things, our intelligence and bravery set us apart from wild beasts, and graced these lands with this radiant miracle. But if we simply lifted our heads from the books and compare, we would realize how close their endings are to the reality before us. The same downfalls, the same rottenness, the same self-destructions. What if all those things we sing the praises of were nothing but temporary illusions? What if believing that they are eternal makes us naive? What if destruction was our true nature?
You weren't so pessimistic before, Leto.
Pessimistic. Golding, you were so kind with your choice of words. You described my crazed musings as pessimistic. I thought I warranted harsher criticism. It seems you are not as resolute as I thought you would be. I am simply exhausted. I'm merely sorry to try facing reality. It is very painful, but I have no other choice. As for the conversation we had the other day, I can now offer you a new answer. I did not choose any missions for myself, Lady Golding. I only wanted to survive. The ceaseless destruction. It's pitiful and weak, insignificant and inadequate, but this is the answer I arrived at, and it's the only thing I have to offer. What else can I do?
You're a soldier. You should have...
Followed orders? Whose orders should I have followed? The king is dead, the Sark has run the parliament, and each duke has his own master plan.
You could have.
Become a hero? At what cost? What if the price is not one that I can afford? When you walked into that room, did you see the eyes of the guards standing by the door? The officers under me, my comrades, and those bewildered young men. Till has 5 children. Sasan's mother has been paralyzed for 3 years, and Toten's brother has erypathy. The vampires will suck their blood dry.
Bowing down will not prevent anything.
At the very least, nothing has happened yet, as of today.
What do I make of their conversation? Well, so far it seems like Golding just wants to complain to him about what's going on and that he should have done more things, even though Leto's like, nah, Golding. I ain't, what's it called? Good, or those alignment charts. He's like, I ain't good, I ain't really bad, I'm neutral. Sorry, if you want a savior, nah, I'ma just do what I can to survive and have my boys survive. I mean, look at my boys and their situations. They're fine so far. That's all I can do. Which is understandable as a fellow neutral.
Golding, it is my hope that you survive this as well, speaking personally. Fundamentally, you and I might just be of a kind. It's only that I've chosen to give up, while you are still standing firm.
You and I are nothing alike.
You asked me where I obtained the information on the Londinium Self-Salvation Corps. Very well. I shall answer you from a cowardly teacher.
What are you saying?
Look at yourself, Golding. Your blunders and the tracks you left behind are owed to your cowardice and fear. Sentimental kinds have never been a good fit for intelligence work. You've known that from the start.
No, it can't be.
There's been a lot of chatter in my communications here. The Sark has ambushed the Camden Borough safe house. Their forces.
Well, like he said, Golding is a sentimental type, so of course it's not gonna be good for her. Situation.
Alert! The safe house at Osterig.
Hello, can anyone hear me? This is the Magna Borough safe house. We're under... No!
Golding, they are dying because of you. You pushed them into the fire. This is what your fight brings. And for that, I can only mourn. There's too many men. They're well equipped, and they're working far too well with each other. Mercenaries aren't capable of this. These are military elites.
Any chance she can brave the despair alone? I feel like you're implying that she's not gonna be able to, which makes me sad, but at the same time, you know, alone, yeah, maybe not in that case. Cause she is the type that needs a friend. Unfortunately for Golding.
Each and every one of them is a bloodthirsty machine who dug his way out of 1,000 battles. Out of the way, a lot of ya!
Indra, watch your back!
This isn't going to work. We're on the back foot right now. I will locate the position of their commander, Amiya. Maintain formation. Don't stop.
I got it.
Damn, there's more of them down this alley. Stay close, Doctor. We will cut our way through.
Go forward 300 meters and take the first left.
Who's that?
Hurry up. There are more ambushers on the roof. Oh, Size of Kings, are you talking to her? Never mind. Everyone can hear the voice. Doctor? Did you hear that? That voice?
Watch out for their arts. Cut through this danger zone.
Hold on tight, Doctor. Thank you, Amiya.
Left.
Let's listen to that voice. We have to give it a shot. Let's listen to them.
I hate being ordered around. Tisk, fine.
It's not like the mysterious voice would lead us to our doom.
50 meters and to your right. Bloody. That's a wall there. No. Some kind of illusion, perhaps. Charge through it.
Ooh.
There's no one I hate more than that sneaky bastard like you. Show yourself.
That assassin of yours has already taken down the commander of your pursuers. You are safe for the time being.
I said, show yourself.
Her name is Ascalon, is it? Impressive. Doctor, behind me. Who are you? Please, there is no need to fret, dear Rhodes Islanders. A few of my colleagues just touched base with Alexandrina not too long ago. Alas, it did not go too well.
You are the man behind Allerdale. Show yourself. I won't say it again.
Oh ho ho.
Please lower your hammer, your highness. You're merely wasting your strength.
Like, to me, it seems like it's implying for, like, something bad's gonna happen to Allerdale. Like, if a question is, like, talking about, like, her despair and hopelessness, like, first hopelessness and then despair, it's like, oh, that's getting worse and worse, and then she's gonna go crazy and self-destruct. That seems like the course of action.
As heir to the throne, from a certain viewpoint at least, you should have a bit more patience. You said so yourself not too long ago that we should have a conversation. You had the self-salvation course tapped. The evacuation plan will be successful. Do note that this was a promise. This is a promise, not sarcasm.
Mysterious figure, please step out of the shadows. I want to see what you look like. So far from what I can see, your coat looks fancy. Oh, there. The coat is very, very fancy. It's fancier than I thought it would be. And I dig the hat.
My sincerest pleasure to meet all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope there yet remains room for objectives to coexist.
An Ashen Trilby?
Very perspective. Lady Isabel Montague. I should have expected no less from a scion of the Count of Manchester. Indeed, we're often referred to as the Trilby Ashers. Should you have the chance, please send your mother my regards.
And it wasn't necessarily like a bad comment per se, it's just like the implications.
Please, there is no need for alarm, Lady Montague. I harbor no ill will against you and your friends at the moment. Is the arts gimmick you have over there a gesture of your goodwill too? I'm not fond of having conversations next to a pile of explosives. This is merely a precaution. Well then, here's a precaution too. Lower your weapon, Miss Ascalon. This is not worth it. Rhodes Island Pharmaceuticals made a series of passage and call permits and call permit requests for so-called industrial waste recycling and processing purposes, currently hiding within the territory of the Duke of Gododin. Currently, 631 kilometers away from Londinium.
Mr. Trilby, you got so much information on us. And what if we are?
Miss Amia, I surmise your recycling work is proceeding apace?
Like, the fact that he just knows all of our names and titles, too. It's like, Trilby Asher, how much information have you been digging on us? I want you as our ally, not our enemy, just because you seem like you're the best at, like, digging up info on others, so having that as kind of person as an ally seems great. As an enemy, not so much. You know Rhodes Island well. It looks like the Victorian bigwigs aren't completely oblivious to us. You know Rhodes Island well, very well, even more well than I know.
We do merely what must be done. You've been very careful. You charted your course and built a well-hidden supply network around your ship. You wish to avoid Victoria's attention. And you almost fooled us. Regardless of whether your intentions are good or otherwise, wouldn't you agree that discretion is the worst quality there is to a ruler?
Who do you serve, Mr. Trilby Asher?
If at all possible, I would say that I serve Victoria. Alas, the reality is that I serve only a small part of Victoria. The small part is more than enough to keep me well occupied, however.
Which means you work for one of the dukes. If the Duke of Wellington saw us as a threat, Rhodes Island would already have been attacked. The Duke of Windermere's control has yet to reach Duke Gododin's territory, not by a long shot. From what I know, the Duke of Normandy is more interested in business. Most other dukes are fence-sitters. You work for Castor. Oh, there, the big reveal that he works for Castor.
Doctor, the commander of Rhodes Island, there exists very little information on you. We are under the impression that this was due to a lack of importance. We will reevaluate our intel appraisal.
What is Rhodes Island worth to that part of Victoria you speak of?
We actually do not have much of an interest in the so-called pharmaceutical company that deals in waste recycling. But your operator has a very unique background. Moreover, she possesses something important. You failed once, but you haven't given up. This is my job, Your Highness. Let us not make things harder for each other. This sword is nothing more than a heavy rod of iron in your hands. What do you intend to do with it? Can you really cut through the catastrophe that looms above us? It is a mere tale. You cannot wield it to its true potential. What does the Duke of Castor want to do with it then? To fulfill a promise. A promise? To bring your followers peace and safety. We do indeed have certain technologies that can immediately put this blade to good use. Just as the size of kings once sheltered Londinium. The Duke wishes for this blade to become a turning point for unity. In that case, those who aren't on your side will deservedly be swallowed up by the catastrophe. That is how it will become that turning point.
Doctor, I will make my move in 3 seconds. We must escape in the situation. Our operators on the landship are more than capable of taking care of the crisis that could soon unfold. And so we have to take the risk. 3, 2, 1. All 3 of you seem pretty tense. Perhaps I came at a bad time?
Right on time, Ines.
She's finally made her grand appearance in the chapter.
Mr. Trilby Asher, you have to admit that you came well prepared. 13 small communication stations, with 4 of them triggered passively. They were set up to automatically send out orders if you don't receive your message after 10 minutes. I didn't want to venture a guess as to what orders they were meant to send out, so I took the liberty of crushing them all. I hope you don't mind. Your subordinates are very strong, even after they heard the word vampire. That said, I believe that aside from the Sarkaz royal court, there are certain others hiding in the city who would be very interested to learn of their existence. Tell me, where do you suppose I should take them? Ines, former Sarkaz mercenary. It's hardly surprising that you were still alive. We determined for some time now that someone was behind all these little tricks around Lindinium. You've done very well. We know that there is a sizable number of Sarkaz mercenaries inclined to leave the military commission's control, but we both know that does not come without a cost, don't we? Your business partner might be in fairly dire straits. Perhaps we should be a little more blunt with each other. I know you have more tricks up your sleeve, and you know we still have some trump cards in our hand. Let's stop probing each other. Your shadow tells me you're wavering. Very well. Let us make a deal. I have a tricky mission, but as you can see, I'm not much for fighting and adventure. So you want someone to die in your stead. I have faith in your abilities. Certainly. You've already seen the airship that is currently parked at the now isolated Norport Borough. Make your way there and get your hands on its schematics.
What's in it for me? Are you going to form an alliance, or is Castor going to form an alliance with me? Come on, fancy lady, join my side.
You get to live, for now.
Wow. Well, I guess living is good after all. Man. I still believe that Trilby Ash is better as an ally than an enemy. Just based on the entire conversation with him, he's very well prepared and he studies a lot. A lot.
You, your friends, your allies, your wounded, and your landship all get to remain alive for the time being. This is no trouble at all to Victoria, but as for the rest of you...
Deal. If he knows as much about us, he knows a lot about others too. Which is why he'd be a good ally. And let me just click on these real quick. Oh, okay. Certain ones have a thingy. Wait, never mind. That's just rewards. Is that the thing? No. I was trying to look for the mysterious letters. And this is just these things that I unlock later. That'd be 4, 7, 13, 17, and 20. So I'll get my first one here. Unity is luxury. Well, let's see just how luxurious this will be. Stare.
How quick to answer, Doctor of Rhode Island. A safe location has been sent to Alexandrina's terminal. Please stand by there. I cannot guarantee your safety for any actions you take outside of our arrangement. My terminal? When did... You have some impressive talents among your ranks. That's very good. This should contribute to our common goal instead of becoming an obstacle to our cooperation. Right?
This isn't completely up to us. Is it a Victorian thing to call threats cooperation? Well, this isn't completely up to us.
Of course. We must slowly build our trust. Please await our next communication.
Is this how we build trust?
Doctor, I need to contact Closure and reevaluate the safety of Rhode Island's communications. Until then, maintain radio silence. Of course, we also need to take care of the issues regarding the landship's calling procedures.
Thank you, Ines. Hello, Ines. Is this the first time we've met?
Beautiful lady.
Oh, so she isn't a Sarkaz. She's a Cabernet.
I'm afraid not.
I've lost some of my memories.
I'm aware. This is our first meeting for this version of you. Have you really lost your memories, or is this part of your plan?
I forgot about a lot of things indeed. What makes you ask that? I forgot about a lot of things. I've changed because of my memory loss, so if you think I'm a little weird, it's because of the memory loss. Unless you always thought I was weird, then I guess it's in character.
I've never been quick to judge Dr. Misaki. I can sense that you've gone through some changes. Especially that look in your eye. You used to be all about efficiency, but now I can tell that you're thinking of other things like gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. We'll have a lot of time to get reacquainted in the future. Rather than trusting verbal statements, I prefer to see things for myself. I know I got a message, let me check that out. It's family group chat, meaning I gotta check it out. Ooh, I get ice cream. Let's see. I'll ask what kind. Shoot. Wait, I look up ice cream real quick. No, I want ice cream. Good thing I checked the family group chat immediately. Usually I have my alerts on mute during streams, but today I forgot to put it on mute. And because I didn't, ice cream. Yeah, don't mind me real quick. I want ice cream. I just had a bubble tea, but I can't resist. If it's being offered to me, I gotta get some. Wait a second. Stare. Boop, 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 boo. Gotcha matcha ice cream. That'd be funny. Or mango. I like mango too. Or, okay, let me give 3 different flavors. I want matcha, mango, or... I gotta sneeze now. Or something else, I don't know. Let's see what it says. No, they ran out of mango. Oh, sad. Yeah, it's an ice cream flavor. I love it. No mango. Well, if there's no matcha or mango, shoot, what other flavors do I like? Chocolate's always good. It's a good basic. Or, you know, I'll say, if there's no matcha, because there's no mango, surprise me. Surprise me, please. Okay. Done sending that message. Oh, I'm so happy I did not turn off my alerts. But now I will. Tee-hee. I don't gotta hear any notifications at this point. Like, strawberry is pretty good, but I prefer it as gelato than ice cream. I feel like gelato at least makes it more fresh tasting for the most part. Though it depends on the ice cream too, since some ice creams are super good and fresh tasting too. But yeah, I'm excited I get ice cream. But I shall go through this section first. Ines, the doctor. Relax, Mia. My prejudices won't be a factor. For now. Ines, please don't hate me. The evacuation's almost complete. Good. Good, we need to get out of here ASAP. The Tsarkas from Rhodes Island. Is his name Logos? And I thought we'd seen all the surprises Rhodes Island's fighting style had to offer, having fought alongside Misery all this time. Right, it doesn't matter who exactly he is. His curse craft has been a great help. Ha, and he's a great darts player too. I played against him for a couple rounds. His accuracy might just be as terrifying as those arts of his. I like how he just casually plays darts with them. I wonder what other games they've been teaching him. Or playing with him. It's like, hey you want to play a round of darts? Sure. Hey you want to play maybe a round of cards? How about some chess? Connect 4? Insert other games. Let's play Monopoly. A friend of mine taught me a couple tricks before, that's all. He's no match for me in a chair sliding match, but when it comes to darts, he's not so bad. Horn, the Sarkas forces have retreated. We should seize this opportunity. According to the plan, Rhodes Island and the Self-Salvation Corps will take the supply route, head toward the exit, and make their way to a town called Brentwood to build a new safe house there. We will regroup with them there. I suggest we charge toward the city walls. Norport Borough is gone, and even though the Sarkas have patched up the walls, they wouldn't have enough time to build new plates to fill the hole there. The exposed underground structure might just help us somehow.
What is she doing here? Get out of here, not Molly.
Looks like I met another old friend. The one who taught you to play darts. Regrettably, no. Unlike this old friend, my friends are loyal to one another until our deaths. Everyone, I'm afraid I still have matters to attend within the city. Horn is more than capable of leading you outside Londinium, and my coworker Misery will also lend you his assistance should the need arise. Understood. Stay hidden, everyone. Follow me. Are the mountains of the past really so worthy of reminiscing? Blood and tears are nothing to be obsessed with.
I must say I'm not entirely fascinated by them. But what if the mountains are the only place there's left to stay? What if the only light of the glory there can give us warmth?
And here I thought I hunted enough of you.
This is the 31st... Molly. You are a hardworking one, Banshee. Well, 31st Molly. He really loves becoming Molly, huh?
But you prevailed nonetheless. You helped Teresa's decimate the self-salvation corps.
That's business.
I would pry up every tile in Londinium to find the last of your hidden shards, Damasti. Yet you refuse the possibility of change. This has always been your choice.
A little arrogant, aren't we, young Banshee? We understand change. We come from change itself. But change is merely a means to adaptation. All change has a final objective. Even before the Sarkas found themselves in this state, we had long been walking upon the lands. Ideologies, faiths, missions, slogans, none of them can escape the sands of time. Those ideas you mistake as novel have been conceived long ago. The path you deem noble has been paved time and time again. And where are they now? We yet still before you. And that is the greatest proof. Bang! Bang bang! Phew. You should have saved some strength, Kador. You've eaten more than enough. Delphine has talked to you about your appetite problem already. We're much worse off than we used to be now.
Relax, Byard. Things haven't completely gone to shit yet. Them devils aren't nearly as strong as they look. All they did was catch us off guard. I had a chat with Marshall from the Transport Union. They have a group of men over there. Once we rope in more on our end, we might just stand a chance to defeat the Sarkas. Just like how we joined forces with the other gangs to take the cops down. Jump them from behind and get the job done. Pow pow, bam! A couple punches, that's all it takes.
Well, if he becomes summonable, I gotta summon him. Unless he's already summonable, then I need him. I'm entertained. I like how he just wants to punch everything. The Sarkas army isn't cops.
I know. They're a force to be reckoned with. But we aren't afraid of blood. We aren't afraid of sacrifices. We will walk over our fallen comrades and smash their faces with our fists.
Kador, you entertain me. Please, join my Rhodes Island. I want to summon you. Like, oh, that's fun. For Damasti, it'd be smart of him to take apart his body into multiple parts, not just stay as a whole. Like, you gotta have different parts of you around the world just to keep yourself safe, you know?
Like our gym's name, Slobber Knocker. Marsh and I worked it out. We would definitely win.
Just like those bootleg Lungmen videos you collect,
I'm serious. I've been around the block in Norport, not much shorter than you. We need to find a way out of this mess ourselves, just like before.
The bootleg Lungmen films. bootleg ones. I want to see what he collected. I would like to win him over by offering him a bunch of Nyan's films. Heck, maybe he can have a role in one of her films.
That siege of yours just up and left Glasgow all those years ago, and our turf got handed over just like that. It was you and I who racked our brains to figure out how to gain a foothold here again. This is nothing different than before. We sat together, get prepared, and beat them all up. That's how we've made it this far. It doesn't matter how things are outside. Out on the streets, we can do things the street way. Next, we just gotta find ourselves the right moment.
Looks like Delphine's back.
Did old Baldy Purr finally give in? Given the circumstances, we're paying a pretty decent price. I'm sure he... What's this? Is that blood?
Baldy Purr is dead.
The Sarkaz. No, not the Sarkaz. Damn it! I have no idea who they were. But they were already at it when we got to the store. They were a bloodthirsty bunch. I saw with my own eyes that this man with a crowbar pinning another on the floor. That man even...
The situation's bad. My guess is that some starving bum set his sights on Purr's shop. The idiot still had bread in his glass showcase. And it went as you'd expect. You can more or less guess at just how many of these bums there are in this lockdown district.
Bloody idiots. Whatever they have been sniffing must have finally gotten to their heads.
Oof. Though come on, dude. Like, why? Why you gotta keep the bread still on top of the display cases? Like, no, you're gonna attract people who... Like, people who really, really want the food. Unless he's willing to give it for free. It's like, no, don't just show it off. I know the man with the crowbar. He's a tail hair product salesman. Always had a smile on his face. I bought from him a number of times since he gave me discounts. They aren't all that good though. I saw him just now. His eyes were deep red. There blood on his lips. That crowbar was completely bent. I almost didn't recognize him. Fear is spreading, Cador.
The transport union guys did say that they could be cowards. There could be cowards going nuts. But how could...
Barricade the door.
What are you spacing out for? Make yourself useful. Cador, push the sofa over here. Bloody bastards! What do the lot of you want? Now piss off. We've got people alive in here. This is Glasgow's territory. Byard, watch out.
A fire axe smashes through the gym's thick door and breaks open a hole. The sharp axe brushes past Byard's hair. A few strands of her hair flutter in the air.
I said it already. We've got people still bloody alive in here.
Cador presses against the door with his body and grabs the axe, peeking through the hole back with his two hands. The man outside makes several attempts to pull the axe back in vain. Cador has no fear. He's just like, you know what? Yoink, this axe be mine now.
I don't care who the hell you are, but get out of my sight or I'll have this axe in your brain.
The axe wobbles a few times, and after a few heavy kicking sounds on the door, the men outside finally gives up. Their chaotic footsteps slowly growing quieter.
Your hand, your fingers. Good thing bandages are the last thing we'll run out of in a gym. Buyer Delphine, we need to take inventory of all of our resources again. I'll take down a couple sandbags to reinforce our front door. These people, have they gone mad? The citizens of Norport Borough were upstanding men, basically. What about the police? They were always so quick to write tickets. If I were a cop so unlucky as to not make it out of this place in time, I would definitely have locked myself in my home with my weapon at the ready by now. I need to head over to the transport union later. The people here still trust Marshall. Everyone always listens to him. He'll find a way. Damn it, bloody hell. The Sarkas are still out there. These people are out of their minds. How could they? What should we do now? Kedar said we just had to wait for an opportunity. Mr. Next Academician, are you aware of the Great Fire in Norport 15 years ago? Oh yes, I've heard. It was in the port, if I recall. It doesn't actually take very much to burn down a port. All you need is scorching hot weather, a warehouse full of wood shavings, and a cigarette butt not fully extinguished. No one can put out a fire like that. All we can do is watch everything burn to ashes.
I like how they basically adopted Mr. Academician. I hope he's proving himself useful as another mouth to feed, my dude. Oh gosh, this is gonna be annoying.
私の戦いはすべて一つの目的のためにありました。その目的を
I mean, this be fine. No fear.
争いは過去に返しましょう。時間をかけるつもりよ。
Oh, I hate that unit limit. That is gonna bother me the most. But it's okay. Hurry up. Totally not sus citizens. Get out of here. Let's start checking you out. How sus are you? And then I gotta bring out more peoples, except I hate how it's like, oh no, you have cost. Limited cost.
決まったか。何時らが保持せし武勇。
Okay, Monster, you will help me out real good here.
することかなわぬ。
Thank you, Monster, my bestie. Because gosh darn it, it hurts. I gotta bring out more people who don't have high cost. Just to make my life easier. Myrtle, if only the max cost wasn't like this. At least I can bring out my bestie, Susie. She's helpful. She cute. Precious baby. She'll get rid of the Sarkas warrior dudes. But these spies, these imposters among us, oh, they are gonna haunt me. But hey, at least I can look forward to ice cream later. I'm assuming that most of the people on the right side are gonna be spies. Most of them. Because that's what I'm noticing. And yes, this chapter is basically Among Us. Which is haunting me. Like, look at these guys just standing there menacingly. And oh. Oh, it's these dudes. No fear. Yeah, no fear at all. Gotta love fast redeploy. It's the bestest. Come on, pass the background checks already, my dudes. Oh no, this one's an imposter. Yay, success. Woohoo. Stare. These munitions factories are all empty. We hauled away 2 production lines and tore down the others. The situation was dire. We didn't know how long we had until the Sarkas mercenaries caught on to what we were up to in the factories. Otherwise, we could have taken even more equipment. Highbury. This new industrial district feels rather different from the old district I was in. In Sudan, we were more like spanners, hammering away to knock together everything at all costs. But here, these production lines, I don't know, maybe you guys are more like gears. Turning ever so stably, day in and day out. We're used to it. That's how shocking human adaptability is. Found it. It's here. Why are there symbols carved on the collection boxes? Years ago, our workshop used these as code words.
to let each other know when to slack off. Never did I imagine they would one day come in handy. Looks like workers everywhere just want to catch a breather, no matter the cost. Let's see, Pato reorganized most of the self-salvation corps from the other districts. The Highbury safe house was ambushed too, but a few of the pipelines deeper into the plate that's used as rest stops weren't discovered. They should be there.
I'm back. I've marked the positions of all the Sarkas and sentries. There's not a whole lot of them. Looks like all the manpower in the city is either headed to the front lines or followed the others.
Closure.
Ooh, my ice cream was brought to me. Oh, beautiful ice cream. Beautiful, beautiful mango ice cream. Wait. I'll eat it. I'll eat it in a bit. I'm just gonna finish this one chapter and do like a little mini story. I'll eat it in a bit. I mean, I'll share some of that. Yeah. Why are you playing a YouTube video? Just eat some of the top if you want. I'll share. I'll eat my ice cream later. Yeah, I can share some of the ice cream. It's mango ice cream.
Closure. I still can't say I agree with you installing your voice banks on my drones.
Hey, don't forget I helped upgrade this drone for you. Alright, enough chit-chat. I just heard from Ascalon that some of our communication systems might have been compromised by some Victorian Duke. I don't really buy that they can hack us all the way through, but just to be safe, I'm gonna run a whole security audit. Faced, have you confirmed that where the rendezvous point is?
It's confirmed.
Awesome, let's see. We may have Shining as our sleeper bodyguard, but she still has to take care of the wounded. So avoid fighting at all costs, got it?
Got it.
You guys, go on ahead and make contact with the remaining Self-Salvation Corps fighters first. Clovici and I will work on the evacuation.
Let's go, Rock. Right. What's the matter?
No, nothing. I was just thinking, was Highbury always this quiet?
Going by the temperature in the air, there's no furnace burning in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the letter too. Like, how long is a letter?
My ice cream shouldn't melt by now. It's only... Wait, what temperature is it?
I should check that out real quick. I bet the ice cream won't melt too fast. It's nighttime after all. It's just... What is this? Like 77 degrees Fahrenheit, aka 25 degrees Celsius. That's cool enough. This be my fall weather. Wait, why is there a coastal flood statement? Well, it's a good thing I'm not by the coast, or else that's kind of scary. No flooding.
That isn't a good sign. We need to act fast. We should be able to make it deeper through this maintenance access. Who's there? Face, it's me. Tommy, you're here. You should have waited for us down there. The Sarkas army has just cleared out our safe houses. There might still be patrols up here. I know. We suffered pretty heavy losses. Day broke his arm too. Catherine gave him first aid. How much longer until the rest of your group gets here?
Yeah, this story section, which is not bad since it's on section 4.
They should have already left. Don't worry. There's a professional doctor among them. She will take care of his arm. All right. Our people are all at the lower level of the maintenance access K-13. I heard the Self-Salvation Corps are going to evacuate from Londinium. Only for the time being. We'll be back, Tommy. We're the Londinium Citizens Self-Salvation Corps. It's just that we need to get our wounded somewhere safe. And there are none in the Londinium. All right. Now head on down. Catherine keeps it to herself. But we can all tell she's worried sick about you. Have you heard about what happened to Norport? Good gracious, the Sark has plucked the whole gate up and tossed it out of the city. I heard that flying fortress even destroyed the Duke's high-speed warship. A high-speed warship! War is broken out faced, but I've never truly experienced it before. I used to think that joining the Self-Salvation Corps would be no different than before. I thought I'd be standing in front of the assembly line, turning screws, and the only difference would be that the weapons go to you instead. This is our home. Of course, Londiniums are home too. We belong here and nowhere else, right?
Ooh, hello?
If you ask me, I think I've shown more than enough good faith already. Hardly unexpected, we too have noticed the Sark has a secret transportation network for some time now. But it's true that there are certain details that are worth getting to the bottom of. And we will continue our investigation with a focus on these areas. And I have a decent guess as to who is behind this, and who is behind some of these events. I hope you will share the results of your continued investigation with us. Of course, just as I previously promised, Rhodes Island's response is fast. Your terminal signals have already been re-encrypted. If the opportunity ever arises, I would love to meet your engineer Closure. She might not like you. I must say, for a pharmaceutical corporation, your company is home to a variety of talents. That said, Her Grace has never been one to refuse new friends in lieu of making enemies. Not to mention that Her Grace and Alexandrina are related by blood. She is more than willing to care for a young relative. Please do let her know how appreciative I am of her looking out for me. Your Royal Highness, I may yet call you so out of respect, but this does not represent my position whatsoever. You can choose to call me Siege. Victoria is a heavy burden, Your Royal Highness. It is nowhere nearly as vivid and vibrant as it seems on the surface.
Depending on when we get back to Londinium, if we get here after Reunion stopped by and took all the peoples out, or rescued the peoples, it might not be as bad coming back here. If not, we're gonna have to worry about, like, all the looting on the streets, and the war, which is double the trouble. Hopefully we come here, like, around the time Reunion already finished their thing, or when they're coming here too, we'd be like, okay, like, hey, 9, you need some help? Okay, let's go.
The return of a certain person, no matter who she is or what she calls herself, is of no benefit to the nation. If under certain specific circumstances that person were to use her identity and influence inappropriately, she might even do the nation harm. This is my personal viewpoint. Then you'd best keep your personal viewpoint to yourself. I'm sure you know that my amenability of this place between us does not equate to a tolerance of your cliches. Your Royal Highness, there is no reason for this animosity between us. I am simply following orders, and I've more than demonstrated my goodwill within the bounds of my responsibilities. Then perhaps your demonstration hasn't been very clear. That or our definitions of goodwill are different. Wouldn't my suggestion that you should make your way to Norport count? If I am not wrong, you have a friend who is currently trapped there. I thought you would see that I am very much putting myself in your shoes as I advocate for this partnership. I am doing you a favor. My goal is to obtain the schematics. You're free to do anything else you deem necessary, including rescuing your friend. If you would offer that blade in your hand, I could even offer my personal assistance. You can save your disgusting hypocrisy. Listen, I don't so much as want to think about what you and that Duke you work with are scheming. You work for our scheming. Stay out of my way and get out of my sight. And you better remember this, for what happened to Allerdale, you and I and your master will have a score to settle. And you'd better believe it will be settled. Of course. I just got word that the Duke's Special Response Team has already made all the preparations necessary for you to evacuate Londinium and aboard Norport Borough. Let us be off.
Mr. Trilby Asher, since the moment I first saw you, when I realized just how solid of a grasp the Duke has on Rhodes Island's communications, I've been thinking. You've always been able to do this, haven't you?
What do you mean?
You've always known what everyone is up to, whether it's us, the Sarkas, or the Self-Salvation Corps.
It's nowhere nearly as simple or comprehensive as you would imagine. We've always found it very tricky to stay thoroughly informed on the Sarkas, especially certain men of the royal court. Many of my colleagues have lost their lives because of this.
But you've always had a good understanding of the tides. Why did you, and especially the Dukes behind you, let things turn out like this?
The Castle Regiment is a formidable opponent, and my guess is that even Old Wellington would admit this. The Castle Military Commission's technology and equipment have a deep impression.
I would not blame Vina if she ruins our cooperation with Castor just because she did like Allerdale, they're friends, and Siege is all about the power of friendship. But I want Trilby and Castor to be on our side just because I'm into the spy network type of thing. Like, it's just so intriguing. Then again, I've been watching a lot of spy shows, so that is kind of affecting my judgment. Like, there's this one K-drama that's about kind of like that, like some spy stuff going on, and there's also Spy Family, and heck, there's even that new, like, detective, like, anime, who the MC's name is Ron. So, yeah, this kind of thing is just up my alley right now. When coming from the executor of a Victorian Duke's will, this just sounds like sarcasm. Based on our analysis, Teresa's may be formidable, but his strength alone is not enough for Victoria to fall to such lows, where it finds itself at the mercy of others. And now I get it. You chose to do nothing. You simply watched as the flames of war engulfed your country.
Amia, the little leader of Rhodes Island, how old are you? 15? 16? You are still a child even. You despise blood and war. But let me clarify this. We're not very fond of these things either. But to us, the objective of war is never a war itself. War is an extension of politics. The Sarkas need a war to unite themselves, and Victoria doesn't necessarily lack the need for one. However, around whom we unite is a worthy of discussion.
And just for that, you...
This is very important. It is far more important than you could imagine. War is cruel. Suffering and death follow in its wake. It exposes our barest, truest forms to one another. It tears off all disguises. At certain stages of history's ever-forward march, we need this kind of honesty. All of us do. Now make your preparations, Rhodes Island. It is time for us to depart.
Off we go.
Molly, they caught you too? Leto, she's just a teacher. The children in school still need to be cared for. You've already destroyed what you came to destroy. Must you drag even more innocents into this mess? You there. You're here, Your Excellency.
The Banshee came looking for trouble with one of us again.
I will send a unit to provide support.
No need. Taking a walk with him isn't so bad. You should go to the old Red Eye. He had just opened a new bottle of wine, waiting for you. And we have already grown tired of his stories of yesteryear. You are a much better listener than us.
Understood. Please pardon me then. You...
Yeah, sorry, Golding. That's an imposter. Golding's throat has never felt this dry. The person in front of her looks and acts exactly the same as the Molly she remembers, down to the tiniest movements. She's always frowning a little, watching every move of the mischievous children. At supper time, she would hand out bread to everyone and chastise anyone who hasn't washed hands. Her expression is the same as ever, but for some reason... The drop of sweat dripping down Golding's back seeps into her clothes. Lance scratched his thumb again yesterday, but don't worry. I put on some ointment. He's always such a handful. What are you? The teacher has made it back to the school already. She will take good care of the children, I'm sure. How about a chat? Relax. This is just a chat. If you still don't feel comfortable, we can continue to use the identity of the owner of this appearance around you. I'm hoping they return the real Molly. Because they said they were just gonna keep her locked up for a bit. They didn't say she was gonna get killed. Unless they have fun being Molly, then. To an extent, understandable. It's like, you know what? Being a teacher ain't too bad after all. Sometimes. Why don't we talk about the weather first, or perhaps the children's studies? There is a play too, Lady Golding. Merely thinking about it brings tears to my eyes. The children have all grown so big in just the blink of an eye. Enough! Stop talking like you're Molly! Stop using that face, you monster! What do you want? Would you like a cup of tea? Leto has pretty fine taste, and his tea here is exquisite. We finally have a satisfying outcome for all the missions Teresa's handed us. Now, we can take a short break. How long have you been around me? Not as long as you can think. Not as long as you think. Can we skip the boring work talk, though? It's break time right now. We want to do something that we are truly interested in. For example, we want to know what you think about this era, and your conclusions around all this. Yeah, spoiler-free questions are good. Though, the only thing... I'm just glad this doesn't really happen too often, but like the one thing... It's technically not a spoiler, but... Like some things are like super implications, like, oh, time to bring out the napkins. Like, I've got those type of comments before, and I'm like, oh, that means something sad's about to happen. Like, technically it's not a spoiler, but at the same time, like, the implications... I don't understand. You used me to destroy the self-salvation cores. I should have no more value to you anymore. Damn it! I handed all this out myself. And no, you haven't, like, done that specific example of, like, the time to bring out the napkins. But that's just, like, one example of some implication stuffs. Don't blame yourself. This is no big deal at all. We had all kinds of ways to locate the Self-Salvation Corps stronghold. You're not the only lead we have. This may sound a little hurtful, but you aren't even the most important one. But we do indeed have a little bit of interest on you. We enjoyed your work and chatting with you. So let's have a chat together. There is nothing more to this, it's just a conversation. We had a conversation like this many times with countless of identities, with countless others, but we are still confused. We still don't want to give up any chances that could lead to an answer. Lady Golding, how do you think we should live? Dang, asking Golding the tough questions. It's like, how he should live? I don't even know you, bro, Mr. Damasti. Wait, no, don't bring the ice cream yet. I'm almost done. I'm almost done, no! My ice cream was brought back into the room. It's fine if it's slightly melted. I drink ice cream. Yummy. But give me my letter. Is that the letter? Hers gold tooth. Where's the letter? How do I access a letter? Eh? We're hiding. Is it through other areas? Letter? Letter? Do I have to click on something else to get the letter? I want to see the letter. Wait, letter? Is it this thingy? No, not that thingy. Oh no, would I actually have to do like a fight? Oh, sadness. Oh no. Yeah, I can't unlock challenge mode unless I go back instead of story mode to the other mode. Yeah, I mean, this chapter shouldn't be that painful compared to the other one. But, oh man, can I not unlock them through story mode? Because if not, that's a tease. That's just sadness for me. Unless it's unlocked later? Oh wait, I can unlock these thingies. The special permit. This one does not have any permit, but the second one gets a permit, right? Or no? Actually, no, I could have gotten a permit here too. Oh man, I guess I gotta do that. Man, I'll do the normal stages off stream then. I hope I don't gotta do these other ones too. Oh, sadness. Like if I switch back, let's see what happens. Doo-doo-doo. I have to do the previous ones. No! No, I'm gonna be suffering. But nah, I got this, no worries. Oh, fear. No. Wait. Let me go here. Can I switch? I have to do the previous episode. Okay, so I have to do from here? From here. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna be suffering like the next who knows how many days trying it. Or eventually I'll get there. Yeah, that can be for another time since I have to go through the entire story in normal mode. Yeah, you can just send me the image for the letter. I'll just do that because, oh, my palms are sweaty just thinking about some of those other fights. Ugh. Pain and suffering. But yeah, I get to eat some ice cream tonight. It's partially melted, but I get to eat some ice cream. Woohoo! I'll go get that before it fully melts. It's like half melted. So thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and epic gosh luck. Gosh darn it. What a tease for them letters. Yeah, it's mango ice cream soup now. But it's still delicious nonetheless. I'll go eat it before my bro comes back into my room again. Or before my dad steals it or ants get to it. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Gosh darn it, I really gotta go through the normal stages of the story. Oh, pain and suffering.